Okay, this video is to understand how data input works in command recall and how to do it. Firstly though, what we'll do is we'll just go for a quick overview of what it's used for and how it's used. So what you're looking at here are two terminals of what we call SSH sessions to routers and switches. And as you can see, these routers and switches are run by commands, and these commands are, I've just typed there, show run, which is show you running config, and I've just typed in there show IP route, which is show me your routing table, and the same over here. And essentially what command recall does is simulates this kind of environment so that network engineers can learn the commands they need. So here we are on the Instant Command Recall website. This is the full CCIE Data Center course. There are other courses, but this is the one that we're concentrating on here. As you can see, a course is made up of lessons, and these are the lessons. Now inside lessons are tasks and subtasks. So what we're going to concentrate on today is how to populate Nexus VTP. As you can see, I think this is what was done earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this out and we'll start again. So what we're looking at here is the instructions which we've already written. As you can see here, this is all about populating a lesson called Nexus VTP. So we started off with open a browser window. So let's just switch screens. So here we've got the browser window to the course. You can see the URL there, and here we're logged in via the to the web app admin program. So what we're going to do is use these instructions because obviously we've already written them. It's probably a bit long-winded script, but I had to make sure that everything was in there. The problem will be, of course, that this may take quite a while to go through, but once the framework is understood, this should be pretty quick, and you should be able to not use this if you like. So with reference to the script again, these are the URLs. Have these two windows open and then log in with this information here, and then back to this structure, which I think is pretty important. It's courses, and lessons go inside courses, and tasks and subtasks go inside lessons. But there can be many tasks and many subtasks per lesson. It depends on the size of the particular subject that we're trying to teach, really. So this first part here goes on about, okay, let's go into the lesson. So let's change screens, and here you can see courses. So what we'll do is we'll click on the courses, and down the screen here you should be able to see all the different courses. Now this one here is the CCIE Data Center Instant Command Recall Full CCIE Data Center Lab Exam Syllabus. This is the course that I'm trying to get populated. There's quite a lot of information to go in there, and that's hence why I've tried to get some help. So as per the script, the course is CCIE DC, and the lesson that we're trying to do is Nexus VTP. So back to the web app, and what we'll do is we'll just click on that, and you click on lessons. So it's options and lessons, and that brings you into the lessons for that particular course. As you can see here are the lessons. There's a number of pages of these lessons. What I've done is I've pre-populated the lessons already, but what we need to do is fill in the tasks and the subtasks basically. So this is our test lesson that we're going to get right before we sort of get into the rest of it. And as you can see here, I can see it's been updated by you. This was the work that from the instructions earlier. So options, update to then look inside the lesson, and as you can see now, here are the tasks and subtasks. So what I'll do is I'll just go and clear this out so that we can start again from scratch. So I'll pause the video. So I've just cleaned everything out. Let's go back to the lessons. We can hit at the top lessons. Let's go back into Nexus VTP, options, update. And so here is a completely clean lesson, and this is where we're going to start. So in the instructions again, the source files for this particular lesson are on that Google Drive URL. Obviously I'm just going to have this one open in front of me. So it says open the source file Word doc and paste the block under lesson description into the description box. So we'll switch screens. So this is the source file. What I'll do is I'll always put the course and the lesson at the top, so there can be no confusion. So this is CCIEDC and the lesson is Nexus VTP. So the lesson description is this bit. So switch screens, I'm into the web app admin. Next, the title is Nexus VTP, and obviously here is the lesson description. So this is my source file. Let's take out the lesson description. Obviously we don't want the lesson description bit. Just copy that, switch screens, and obviously with a paste. Paste actually is Control V. So now this is an editor here, as is obvious, and we'll use the editor a little bit later to make it exactly the same as the rest of the lessons. It's exactly the same as normal, just highlight and bold, underline, that sort of thing. We'll come back to this a little bit later just to make it in the same format. For now, let's just get to a situation where we get the data into the lessons. So the next part of the instructions, as lessons have tasks, a task has already been created, update if no task exists. So this is just saying how to get down to lessons, down to the box that we're actually looking at. Now the first task, task 1 and subtask 1, I'm afraid this is a little bit complicated, and this is because it's a database at the back end here, been programmed in a certain way. There's nothing really I can do to make this simpler, unfortunately. I just have a way of dealing with it, and I'll show you what that way is. So what's this really talking about? Task 1, an order box, and 1 in the subtask order. So what does that really mean? So let's change screens and just explain that a second. So obviously this is the lesson description, and now down here we have lesson tasks, and if you see here you have task and a subtask. So what this will be something like we're trying to teach the people who are learning, we're trying to teach them how to configure a particular element, if you like, but of course that won't simply be one element. There will be subtasks, there will be different things that they'll have to do to configure that element. One of the complications with the database is that we've only got 10 commands. So what I actually do is I break down, let's say there's 50 commands got to go in to configure one element. That will be 5 times 10. That will be one task with 5 subtasks in it. But to keep things simple, what we'll do is as you can see, there's one task here and one subtask with 2 commands in. So let me just delete that and we'll start at that again. So yeah, that wasn't totally clean, but it is now. So here we are. Let's put I'll put the description back in there. 1 second. I'll just put. So here we have the lesson. Nexus VTP. I've put the description back in. I've just done a save. So we're at this position now. So this is a totally clean lesson. So you can see exactly what this task and subtask complication is all about. So obviously this is the description for the lesson, and now we come down to the tasks. So what we will do is we will create a task, and you have to create task 1, and then if I've got more than 10 commands, I'll want them to be subtasks. So that will be task 1, and then you'll have subtask 1 and then subtask 2. So it'll be 1.1 and 1.2. So let's go. The first, obviously it's task 1, and the first subtask will be 1. So now we always add images in because we'll come out and show you in a minute how it looks in when it's finished, and an image is really important in network engineering because people need to see the sort of like overall schema. But we'll leave images for now because they're easy to add. They're not a problem. What's difficult to add is the input and the data. So I'll come back to that a little bit later. So now we've got new task details. We've got 1.1, and now we've got the instructions for the task. So let's go back to the source file. Now you can see in the source file I've got task 1.1. So that means task 1 subtask 1. So here's where we start to get going. You can see below is task 1.2. So we'll come to task 1.2 in a minute, but here's task 1.1. So so now we're in the task instructions. Don't forget the lesson instructions are up there. We're doing 1.1. Here are the task instructions here. So let's go back to the source file. Here's our source file. So let's just take all of that, copy that, switch screens to the web app admin. There's a web app admin. And what I normally do, again, it's just Control V, so it's copy Control V to make it quick. What I normally do is put all this with an underline. We'll check all that a little bit later. So basically what you can see here is all we actually really want in this instructions is this bit here, enable the VTP feature. And what you do is you count the commands. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 commands there. And see this console command add piece here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clicks. And what that does is creates 9 command boxes below it. Okay, so I'll do that. Let's just run through that again because that's quite important. So I pasted in here from the source file 9 commands, and then I created 9 command boxes below with 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9 clicks, and there they are there. Now the next thing to do is to go into command 1. What we want to do is cut that piece out there, and to do cut is Control X, and then Control V to paste, and then simply follow that same process every single time. Just Control Exit, Control V down into the prompt box, take away the equals sign, Control X or cut, whichever you want to do cut, and then you can just paste that into the box, making sure that the white spaces are taken out to the left. That's actually quite important, and so on and so forth. And so that would be all the way down, and as you can see we've filled them all the way in, all the way down for 1.1. Once you do that, save the task. Hit that to save. So back in the instructions, it says the next subtask is denoted by 1.2. So let's go back to the web app admin, and all we do is we do 1 in there and we do 2 in there, add an image again, put the instructions in, and that will create 1.2. With 1.2 added, we put in the description again from copy the description again with the assessment bit there, the whole thing, copy that, chuck that into the 1.2 description. So that's now pasted into there, 1.2 with the commands, doing exactly the same thing, taking the end bit off the commands and pasting them in there into the relevant places, exactly the same as we did in 1.1. There were 4 commands, as you can see. So we've got to number 4, we just hit save task. So we'll go back out to the web front end, check our work. What we'll do is we'll just give it a quick update. Once it comes back, we'll just scroll down to Nexus VTP, task 1, and there we have task 1.1, and there's the commands in the right format. Command 7 says configure the VTP domain. Let's try task 1. It says enable the VTP feature. So that will be feature VTP, hit return. As you can see, we got it correct. Command 2 now will be configure the VTP domain. So what I'll do is I'll put something in there incorrect. VTP domain anything. I hit return and it says incorrect. So give me the answer. There's the correct answer. Carrying on, we come down to task 1.2. There's the commands, there's the instruction. Very simply, we want them to type whatever instruction that tells them to do into there, whatever it is, hit return. It's incorrect, give me the answer. What they should have typed in there was feature VTP. Again, they just hit enter, go to the next line and go to command 2, and they carry on like that. So that all there looks perfect, and at the bottom we can reset and we can do it again, whatever we need to do. So I hope that explains the quite convoluted instructions. I know they're a bit long-winded, but it's very difficult to explain in print how to do things like move the mouse. So I needed to cover all that off anyway, and you can use that as a reference. It's obviously going to be easier to use this video, so what I would do is I would have this video open as well. So I'd have the web app admin, the video on the 3rd tab of my browser, and the web front end, and just work between them. Just pause the video, do that particular step, and I mean, don't worry, there's no problem. If there's anything you don't understand, I can easily just make another video about a particular element, and you can just keep copying that, and that way just monkey do, monkey does, until you understand the structure. After you've done this 2 or 3 times, you'll start to understand how it works. Of course, you'll make some mistakes, but don't worry about that. As long as you don't delete anything else which is in there, you just stick to the lessons that you're working on. It's no problem. And even if you put it in incorrectly, we can delete them. I can back them out. So there's no problem. We can sort most things out. Okay, so have a crack at that. Have a look at this video. Go through the video, see if you can do VTP. What I'll do is I'll go back and delete it all so it's all totally clean for you, so you can start in exactly the same place that the video starts. Okay, I hope that makes a bit of sense, and I'll post that up now, and give me some feedback on it. Say yes, no, or if anything's still unclear. Okay, bye for now.